Hello, this is Nico here, and I wanted to talk about sleep and the importance of sleep. So I'm going to be going through that today. This is my first time doing a PowerPoint, so everyone please bear with me. I'm doing this to kind of make sure everyone I guess, can see all the things on the screen, and we can kind of go through it together. And, I guess, so you can, I'm more of a visual learner. People are more visual, so I wanted to be able to, do things where people could visually see it. And this is going to pertain to the paleo diet. So I know we talked about before. I was going to say how I was going to go into talking about sleep, which is one of the most important thing about the diet. A lot of people would think that it would be the food, but it's going to be getting more sleep. So we're going to be going over that today. So lack of sleep kills. That's the title of this particular one right here. Lack of sleep kills. And I'm going to go over why it does, but I'm going to talk about this for a second. I'm going to go slide by slide. Seven and a half to 8 hours minimum per night is what we need. Getting less than that, it can literally kill you. So, and I'm going to go through how that's the case. It is because when lack of sleep is the same thing as stressing too much or having an abundance amount of stress in your life. So there are two different kinds of stress we're going to be talking about here tonight or today, and the two different kinds are going to be acute and chronic stress. What is acute stress? Acute stress is short but intense. It's basically, someone cuts you off at a light. They cut you off, they're about to hit you, you're about to get in a major accident. Or you could even say, sounds, a child or even a person, young adult runs out in front of your car. You're about to hit them, but you stop short. You don't hit them, but that period when you think you are, your heart rate starts to go up, your palms get sweaty, things like that is acute stress. We're designed to handle those kinds of stress. The body's designed to handle that, and I'll go through why we're designed to handle that. Now, when you stress, and your adrenal glands are going to kick in, and you're going to start to produce hormones to enable you to cope with that stress. Your body's going to produce hormones like adrenaline and different hormones, and these different hormones are going to sharpen your reflexes and give you better and more focused concentration. So you're going to be it enables your body to react in highly stressful situations to where you can't, well, you wouldn't be able to without that. So your adrenal cortex produces another stress hormone called cortisol, and cortisol is very important for as far as it gives you burst of energy, and I'm going to go through how it pertains to as far as the morning and melatonin at night. But cortisol is important, but too much of cortisol can really affect your body in a negative way. And by not getting not getting enough sleep and stressing in certain ways, your cortisol levels will increase dramatically. And I'm going to go through, what high levels of cortisol do to you. So can my body handle chronic stress? Can you handle the stress of every day? Just like a boss. We all have jobs. We don't. You may love your job, but not too many people love the corporation or the bosses they work for. Unless you own your own company, maybe you might love it then. But not everyone does. People that stress out about that money. A great amount of stress in your life is the same thing of lack of sleep. Can your body handle that? No. You're in a constant state of when you're in a constant state of stress, your body's constantly in that fight or flight mode. Your adrenal glands are constantly going, and your body basically is in a constant state producing these hormones. And when you're in a constant state, it's going to overproduce those hormones. And so when you're in chronic stress, like I just said, your body's stuck in a fight or flight mode, and you're being faced with constant stress. That's the difference between chronic and acute. Acute's for a short moment. Your body's designed to handle short moments of stress. When you have chronic basically means anything that's continuous. When you have a chronic illness, it's reoccurring. It keeps happening. You know, when you're under stress, you're under a reoccurring amount of stress, constant stress, and that constant stress, you know, your body's not designed to handle that. Cortisol and melatonin fluctuate during the day, and I'm going to go over that a little bit more. Cortisol, of course, peaks in the morning, and then it dips in the evening time when melatonin takes over, and then melatonin takes over during the sleep. Uh, so I'm going to go through why that's important. Chronic stress causes an imbalance in your hormonal cycle and disruption. So when you stress too much and lack of sleep, when you get lack of sleep, you're throwing off you're throwing off that cycle. You're throwing off that rhythm and that cycle. And instead of cortisol basically waking you up, cortisol is going to give you that burst of energy in the morning to get you up. Instead of having that, you know, and having the melatonin at night that's going to wind your body down, you're going to be in reverse. You're going to have cortisol levels are going to be high at night, where you're going to be up. You're not going to be able to sleep, and you're going to have problems sleeping, things like that, which, you know, can produce all kinds of things from sleep apnea to, you know, all different kinds of things. And your melatonin levels will be higher during the day, making you more sleepy, more groggy, things like that. So let's go to the next one here. Cortisol levels, and I spelled that wrong. It's supposed to be, what does having high cortisol levels do? So high levels of cortisol are going to leave you lying awake at night, like I just spoke about. It's your body's not going to be able to wind down. It's not going to get those signals to wind down that melatonin would give you. And you know, high levels of cortisol is going to disrupt your hormonal balance, causing a condition called adrenal fatigue. Uh, you know, in the short term, cortisol robs your digestive and immune system of energy to give you a rush of strength. Adrenal fatigue is the price you pay when your body extends this energy trade-off into the long term. So basically what I just talked about, you cortisol is good for giving you that burst of energy you need as far as the morning, as far as when you know, when you're in stressful situations, when you're in that acute stress situation. But chronic stress is going to, you're going to stay in that state, and your adrenal glands are going to overproduce cortisol because they're going to be in that stressful state constantly. So when they overproduce it, it's basically going to rob you of all your energy, and you're going to be caused with something called adrenal fatigue, which can lead to illnesses like intestinal disorders, like you know, IBS, and you know, even food allergies. And I was faced with food allergies not that long ago, and I was actually able to overcome those by changing my diet. A lot of stomach issues and things like that are actually, you know, can be changed by getting a good amount of good night's sleep and changing the way you eat. And that's why this diet is so important, is because you can see that how changing, it's more of a changing your lifestyle instead of, you know, just popping in pills or whatever like that. And you'll see that when you go and you get into the diet, that you can still eat certain things that you love and not punish yourself. But you know, it's just changing certain things, like sleep is the number one thing. Getting better sleep is going to cause your body to rejuvenate, for you to have more energy in the long run, for your hormone levels to be at a manageable level. And this is why, and a lot of people can understand why you need to have more sleep. And having more sleep is going to balance out those hormones for you. You can't do this diet and not get a good night's sleep, because if you don't, your hormone levels will be out of whack anyway. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, I see online, a lot of people say, you know, why do I get really bad night's sleep? Why is my body all over the place now? It's because you put your body in a constant state of stress all these years, all this time, that it takes a little bit to get your body back to where it's supposed to be, and get it back to, you know, the hormone levels to where they're supposed to be at. So what's the solution here? Get more sleep. You need to get more sleep in order to be able to control your hormones, along with eating differently. And you know, we'll go through that some more, and I'll have a link on my blog to where you can go on there and get more in-depth information and be able to find where to get that information, find these programs. But right now I'm going to be going over, or we're just talking about sleep. So big thing is get more sleep. You need to get more sleep to have your hormones at a manageable level. So I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna go through step by step about some other things and more in depth about, I guess, the different hormones, different things like that. So you kind of understand a little bit more. So it's not really confusing to people. Like I said, this is something I've done, and it's actually helped me out immensely. I've had stomach disorders, things like that, that I've basically cured myself of without having to get different medications and stuff like that, just because of sleep and because of the way I've ate. So please visit me at nikosview.blogspot.com and go on there. You can write me on YouTube or you can send me messages through there. Either way, send me messages and I'll definitely answer them. I want to thank everyone for everything you've done, for everything, for just watching my videos and participating. So I'll be glad to make more and we can learn and grow together.